Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars review. We're going to take a look at a vehicle today, and I'm afraid you're going to have to bear with me with this review because this thing is absolutely massive, and I've tried about 3 or 4 times to review it now, and every single time I've done it it's gone completely wrong. So as I said, do bear with me. There's a ton of features with this vehicle that I'm going to have to get through, so odds are I'm probably going to separate this video into 2 parts. But we'll try my best to get through it all, and hopefully you'll enjoy this review. So the vehicle itself is, going back a while, I've had this one in my collection for quite some time, but obviously I haven't got around to reviewing it yet. So here is the 2010 Star Wars AT-AT vehicle. Now this is an absolutely immense piece. Honestly, the size of this thing and just the overall, presentation of it, getting tongue-tied, the amount of features that are on it, and just everything about this vehicle is just really overwhelming. There's the size of it, the weight of it, and as I said, all the lights and sounds and features of this thing are absolutely awesome. So we will try and get through them all. As I said, you will have to bear with me due to the size of it, and it's quite difficult to hold up in front of the camera. But as I said, there's a ton of features to get through. I will try and get through most of them. But the odds are, because there's that many, that I'm going to forget a couple, so if I do, then do feel free to leave a comment and let me know. So there it is, that is the overall look at the vehicle before we start going into detail. Before we do that, we're going to take a look at the packaging that it comes in. Obviously, due to the size of the vehicle itself, the box is equally as massive, and here it is. You've got some really cool artwork on the front with the AT-AT in action on Hoth. On the back of the packaging, you've got an absolute ton of features sort of run through that come with the vehicle. So up here you've got the cables that lower from the platforms, troop platforms. You've got the speeder bike that ejects from the back, a handle to control the head, the fact that it holds up to 20 figures, which is pretty impressive, articulated legs, firing cannons on the front. You can also recreate the scene from Empire Strikes Back where Luke attaches himself to the underbelly of the AT-AT, and you've also got lights and sounds and stuff like that in the cockpit as well. So there's a ton of features, as I said, with this vehicle, and it's going to be an absolute struggle to get through all of them. But there you go, that's an overall look at the packaging. Now this is actually the first version of packaging that the AT-AT came in. As you'll know, this is the Shadow of the Dark Side packaging, and the AT-AT was also released in the vintage packaging as well, which was a basic reproduction of the 1980 packaging that the AT-AT came in, obviously just slightly modernised. Would have liked to have gotten the vintage packaging, but unfortunately it was going for a pretty hefty price in my local Toys R Us. And I actually managed to get this particular AT-AT from a friend in the US who picked this one up from his local Target for only $50, which obviously with the exchange rate works out very cheap for me. So there we go, got this one at a pretty good price. So that is the packaging. As you can see from the front as well, you've got a couple of panels. This one here denotes that you get a free AT-AT driver with the vehicle, and also a speeder bike, which I will show you later on in the review. So there's the box. Now on to the vehicle. Now, as I said, you are going to have to bear with me because this one is friggin' huge, and it's quite a struggle to hold up on camera. So here we go. Right, I'm going to begin by showing you the cockpit and the head, because that is obviously where most of the action takes place. The cockpit itself can be opened, and you've got this sort of, for lack of a better word, lid that opens up and reveals the contents of the cockpit, which I'll try and show you on camera. Obviously you've got control panels in there, and seats for your drivers, pegs for other figures, all that kind of stuff. So very nice inside there. If I flick the AT-AT on, I can give you a rundown of some of the lights and sounds inside the cockpit. Now on the control panel just there is a button, which I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a button on there that you just press, and that will reveal lights and sounds, and the control panel here will light up. So I'll just show you that.
Rebel forces spotted. Preparing attack vectors.
That's pretty cool. And you just keep pressing that and it'll reveal a ton of different phrases and sounds and all that kind of stuff. So just give you a few samples.
Distance to power generators. Range to target 17.28. Rebel base located.
That's it. The rebels are there, and Skywalker is there with them.
Honestly, I have so much fun with this vehicle. It's friggin' huge and pretty cool. But yeah, you get an idea of...
The rebels are alerted to our presence.
You get a really cool idea of the...
Rebel forces in range. Forward deflectors at full power. Red lights. Target the rebel scum. I've reached the main power generators. All troops will debark for ground assault.
Absolutely tons of phrases from The Empire Strikes Back with this thing.
Don't fail me.
Prepare to target the main generator. Primary guns charged and ready.
I'm going to be here forever at this rate.
Target maximum firepower. The shield will be down in moments. You may start your landing.
Don't let Skywalker escape.
Rebel forces spotted. Preparing attack vectors.
That's pretty much it, I think. So yeah, there's all the lights and sounds and the phrases from the cockpit interior. As I said, there are an absolute ton, so we're going to be in for quite a long review. But the cockpit is probably my favourite aspect of the vehicle. I just love the design of it, and the fact that it's got the light up control panel inside is really cool as well. Obviously on the exterior of the head you do have a switch on the chin, very similar to previous releases of the AT-AT, which you can move back and forth and the cannons will move and light up and make sounds. So I'll just demonstrate that for you. Once again, just flick the AT-AT on and here we go. That's really cool. And then obviously the cannons on the side as well, they do fire missiles, which I'm not going to do because I'll probably lose them, but you do press this button on the side and the missiles will go firing out. While ever the AT-AT is turned on, it will actually come to life and start making noises on its own, so I'm just going to turn it off while it's not in use. But there you go, that is basically the details of the head and the cockpit. So we've had a good look at that. Now, as I said, on the back of the box there is a handle that can be revealed from the top of the vehicle, which just comes up at the front there, and these cannons rotate out just to add a little bit of playability to it. And this is basically what controls the head, so if you move this up and around and back and forth, the head will move around, but unfortunately it's quite difficult to do considering I'm at a jaunty angle and this thing is friggin' heavy. So, but you get an idea, you know, you just move this handle up and down and the head will move accordingly. The actual neck that attaches the head to the rest of the body is made out of a very thick rubber, which can be prone to splitting, so do be careful with that. But for the most part it's pretty sturdy and allows a lot of extra movement inside and around the head. So there you go. That's the neck and head of the AT-AT. Now onto the main body. I'll skip the legs because there's not really much to talk about with those other than the fact that they're articulated at the thigh, the knee and at the ankle. But the main body is really where it's at. So starting with the exterior, I'll just put the cannons away. Starting with the exterior of the vehicle, you've got a couple of opening panels which I'll try and fit on screen. Just move the camera around a little bit. You've got a couple of small flaps at the back which just open up and you can have figures peering out of there. And you've also got these rather large panels on the side of the body which open up to reveal the main part of the vehicle itself, which as you can see is inundated with platforms, railings, you know, command controls and all sorts of other weird and wonderful gadgets, ladders and all that kind of stuff. So just zoom in to give you an idea of that. absolute ton of stuff going on in there. Now the first thing I want to highlight is the fact that if we just zoom out again, there is a sort of, not a cog, I guess you could call it, which you can take off these platforms, and this is basically what your figure will attach to. You attach your figure to that, and then you basically just wind the cable out, and then this wheel here will retract, and you can send the platform up and down, which really isn't that exciting. But and if you're lazy, you can just pull it down. But to retract it back up, just bear with me while I look for the wheel. Can't find it on the screen. Bloody hell! Where is it? There it is. If you just, oh, why the frick now? This is really awkward. This is probably the most awkward review I've ever done. If you just sort of retract that in like that, and the platform will retract back up inside the vehicle. You fold it up in the arm. And there you go. Sorted. Right. Now, as I said, this is a really awkward review, so I do apologise for this. But inside there as well, there is a control panel at the back, which I'm not sure if you can see or not. But there's a control panel at the back there which has a number of buttons on it as well, which, once again, I'll just flick the vehicle on, and I'll give you an idea of some of the interior lights and sounds. There's only one button actually, the series of buttons is on the top, but if you press that in,
Red lights!
and I don't know how well you can see it, but there's actually a red light in there. Just try and reveal that as best I can. Just keep pressing the button.
Launch speeder bike recon patrol!
As you can see, the red light is on at the back. At the front, sorry.
Rebel forces in range.
Just makes an absolute ton of sounds. The flaps do open at the other side, which is probably what I should have done in the first place. And press the button from in there.
Rebel snowspeeder squadron approaching on your flank.
Hope you can see that red light there.
Red lights. All right, men, load your weapons. Troops standing by for deployment. Ground troops deployed, sir. Blizzard squadron, objective completed. Red lights. Launch speeder bike recon patrol.
That's just about all the lights and sounds that are inside the main body. Just try and flick it off again. Can find the switch. Where is it? As I said, this is a really awkward review, and I do apologise if you're getting bored, but I had to get it reviewed, and obviously due to the amount of stuff that goes on inside it, it's quite hard to show you all on camera. But there you go, that's the basic panels of the body of the ATAT that open up and talk and light up and all that kind of stuff. At the rear of the ATAT, this is where the speeder bike recon patrol comes into play. Basically open that up, press this button at the back, and out comes the speeder bike. Because I've turned the lights and sounds off, that didn't make the sound that it was supposed to, so I'll just redo that for you. Once again, trying to find the switch. There we go. Okay, so we'll reveal the rear end of the ATAT again, and once again, as you can see, the speeder bike comes out. Now the speeder bike itself is just a basic speeder bike really. From what I gather, it's actually a repaint of the speeder bike that came out in the Saga collection, or the Attack of the Clones line. And as you can see, it's just a basic white speeder bike with Imperial emblems on the body. You can pretty much get all your figures to ride on that. I think, other than that, we've just about covered everything. If I just reveal, sorry, just reinsert the panels in there, try and lift it up once again. And as I said, underneath the AT-AT, there is a compartment which I'll try and review for you. Just lift it up like that, it'll be a bit easier. There is a panel underneath here which, as I said, you can recreate the scene from Empire Strikes Back where Luke sort of finds himself in the underbelly of the AT-AT, and that just opens up like so, and there is something in there, I believe, yes there is, that you can actually attach. Oh, there you go, you've got an actual cable itself, so you don't have to mess around with the gun. And the cable actually comes out of the innards. Not entirely sure how that retracts back up inside the vehicle, but it comes in pretty handy anyway. So yeah, there we go. I think, and I'm hoping, that I've just about covered everything with the AT-AT, because as I said, this is a bloody awkward one to review. I hope you've enjoyed having a look at it, and as I said, if I have missed out any features of the vehicle, then do be sure to let me know, because odds are I probably have. So there we go, that is the Imperial AT-AT Walker. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I'll be back with some more very soon. Probably in the next review I'll give you a look at the AT-AT driver that comes with this, since I'm probably out of time. Or shall I do it now? What do you think? I'll do it now, sod it. Get it over and done with. So there is the AT-AT. Oh sugar, I didn't show you the sounds on the top. As I said, there are a couple of buttons on the top of the AT-AT which once again do make more lights and sounds. And here we go again.
Rebel snowspeeder squadron approaching on your flank.
This does work very similar to the big Millennium Falcon in the sense that with the buttons you can press them down for a longer duration of time and they'll make different sounds. If you just press them in once, then they'll just, you know, make sounds on their own accord. Love that sound. We've got the typical walking sound of the AT-AT.
Forward deflectors at full power.
I think with the buttons on the top, if you press them in for a longer period of time, then I think that's when the phrases come out, but if you just press them once, then it just makes sounds. It's a bloody noisy vehicle, but it's pretty cool. And then also there's a stick sheet included as well, so you can basically weather this to your heart's content. So there we go, that's the AT-AT. I hope that I've covered everything. I'm praying that I've covered everything, but there are a ton of other reviews of this vehicle on YouTube, so if I have skipped anything then be sure to check them out. And I hope you've enjoyed having a look at this vehicle. So to finish up the review, as I said, we are going to take a look at the AT-AT driver that comes included with it. Now unfortunately it's not the most superior AT-AT driver that's ever been released. It's actually the one that came with the Saga Collection 2006 line, which also coincidentally was included with the Endor AT-AT back in 2006. Personally I'd have preferred to have seen the Legacy Collection AT-AT driver from 2009 that had the removable helmet and added articulation, but this one's a pretty cool one just to you know, stick in your vehicle. In terms of articulation, he has a ball jointed neck, there's no removable helmet, ball hinged shoulders, swivel elbows, swivel wrists, no swivel waist, swivel hips, ball hinged knees and no articulation in the ankles. So he's not the best figure, but certainly not the worst either. And there's some really nice detail on places such as the chest box, and on the helmet of course you've got the Empire decals on there. So really cool. And then of course, as I said, you get the speeder bike as well. So all in all, a great value for money vehicle. I don't know whether I said it at the beginning of the review, but it does kind of make the recent Republic Attack shuttle look like a piece of crap in terms of a big vehicle. So if faced with a choice, you know, if you can only get one or the other, I'd probably get the AT-AT. But yeah, decent vehicle, decent price in my opinion. It's not too expensive. And yeah, definitely recommend picking it up if you've got the room for it. Unfortunately mine is tucked away in the cupboard at the minute, but I'm hoping to remove the doors of the cupboard and have it on display and so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this review up now because I've probably been rambling for around 20 minutes, which means this video is going to take about 24 hours to upload. So thanks for watching guys, and as I said, if I have missed anything out on the AT-AT, do let me know and I'll either re-review it, hopefully not, or as I said, just check out other reviews on it on YouTube, as I'm sure they'll cover everything as well. So there you go. That's the AT-AT. I hope you enjoyed this review, and until next time, keep collecting. May the Force be with you.